country.
Mr Chair.
Catherine Delahunty.
Tēnā koe, Mr Chair, tēnā koutou katoa. I am pleased to follow the previous speaker and I applaud his courage in naming that issue, and I think it's important that we talk about the whole issue of vulnerable children in a holistic way. The Green Party is putting this bill to the Select Committee because we want the debate, and we do appreciate the Minister coming and giving us a good briefing on the issues. That gave us an opportunity to have dialogue and to raise with the Minister some of our concerns that we do have. And there are some specific issues I will cover. But above and beyond all that, the question that rises for me is, why are we so violent as a society? And why, when Sue Bradford put up Section 59 bill, which most parliamentarians supported, were there death threats, howls of violence, and parents writing to us saying these children are our property and we have the right to beat them or hit them if we want to. That was depressing and revealing at the same time. But what it tells me is that the violence is not just restricted to the 25 or so a year dreadful individuals who commit murder against children, but also it permeates our society. We do not have a respectful attitude towards children as a society, and it was horrific to see the death threats that came out and the Section 59 debate about children as property. Children, Mr Speaker, are not our property, and until we change not only offenders and potential offenders' behaviour, but change the consciousness of our whole society towards the real value of children, and often their mothers who are also subjected to the same violence. No bill, no matter how well-intentioned and this one is, no bill will change that. We've got a lot of work to do, and I don't think this House is a big part of the problem. I think we are willing to try and find solutions, some of us, most of us, but we do have to acknowledge the complex matrix that has led us to being one of the most violent societies in the world. And violence cannot be solved through violence. So we need to take a hard look at what this is all about. There are no excuses for violence against anyone, let alone children. There are reasons why it has become a pandemic in our society, and those are the tough issues that we absolutely have to face. And so, drawing my attention back to the bill, we do think that the relationship between child abuse and domestic violence cannot be separated. And one of the reasons we are still concerned about what this bill misses is the economic vulnerability of women in violent relationships. The DPB was created so that women and children could be safe. And in other laws in this Parliament where the welfare system has become based on sanctions, women do not have the same opportunity to escape violent relationships if they're going to be taken into even greater poverty. And this is the problem that these women face and these children face, that we need a holistic and consistent support for women and children so that violence is not their only reality and that they have genuine and real options. And this bill addresses a number of specific situations but does not take on that really tough issue about where do these women and children go, and will they just go underground now, because otherwise they will be in trouble. They could potentially, mothers could lose their children. SIPs could become more bureaucratic. So we want these issues addressed at Select Committee. We appreciate the effort that's being made by all sides of the House to address these issues, but we are really concerned. We applaud the idea of cross-department cooperation, but we don't want it to lead to more bureaucracy, more reporting and more statistics, when what we need is not a top-down but a bottom-up as well, change of consciousness towards this. And I'm interested in what is the relationship between whānau ora and this bill? What is the relationship between what the Minister, Tariana Turia, said was the SIP system can never work for our families. She wanted to try something new. And I want to see how that relates to this bill, because the whānau ora system was trying to heal whānau through self-determination versus the idea that bureaucracies and that government departments with more powers will solve this issue. And I think that Member Rajan Prasad made a very good analysis of the challenge of social workers who are not always skilled, and as someone who's tutored social workers, I know what he's talking about in terms of dealing with the complexity of issues that they're confronted with. And so we do have concerns about a number of things. We have concerns about the child harm orders in terms of monitoring and spouse manipulation, and also this issue of balance of probability. We think that people need escape paths from violence. And so we did try to talk to the Minister about what's happened to the Ministry of Social Development and the law of the Social Security Act around women and options to escape from violence. We do think those issues are intimately connected with child abuse and domestic violence. We do believe that when women and children are not only the heart of social welfare legislation but economic legislation, then we will see change in this country. When women and children are the basis for the decision-making around bills to do with the economy, rather than being sidelined into social welfare, we may see change. But at the moment, we are supporting the bill.
Order.
We will continue to do that.
Time's expired.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mike Sabin.
Mr. Speaker,